clip from Zach's incredible short film, Bud, which you can watch right now on YouTube, on Vimeo as a staff pick, and on Omeletto as a curated short. Congratulations on the film. You wrote the film, you co-wrote the film, you directed the movie, you produced the movie. For anyone who doesn't know, tell us what it's about and why you wanted to tell this story.
Sure. It's a short film, and it's about this little girl who's celebrating her 7th birthday with her father, and they're having this special dinner, and they're just completely in love with each other in the way that sometimes parents and kids are. And people start gradually to sort of notice them and to behave in an increasingly hostile way to her father. And it's shot from the perspective of this little girl as her father becomes sort of more and more of a lightning rod for outrage. And I think why I wanted to make it was with public shamings and things like that. Whenever you see those videos online, I always find them utterly enthralling. They sort of make me feel adrenalized and sort of horrified and such weird cocktail of feelings. And I often just end up in this sort of, we were talking about this, like this moral algebra where I'm like, okay, they did X, does that warrant Y? You know, do they deserve the thing that's happening to them now? And I get caught in this sort of ideological bramble of it all. But my co-writer Brandon Gardner and I were thinking, like, well, what would it be like to witness one of these events from the perspective of someone who doesn't even have the information to consider the moral implications, who's just having an experience of it? And so we thought it'd be interesting to show that from the perspective of a little girl at her birthday. So that's what the short's about. And it's so kind of you. There's a big television show. To have me on to promote this little short is so generous. I really appreciate it.
I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think everybody should watch it. I think everybody should watch it because I do think it brings up something very, very interesting to society at the moment. I mean, obviously, public shaming is everywhere at the moment. It feels like you seemingly can't move for it. And public shamings were things that used to happen, you know, 50, 60, 80, hundreds of years ago, where someone would do something wrong in a town, they would be placed in stocks and people would go down. And they were outlawed by towns and mayors and cities, not necessarily because of the damage and the impact that was happening to the person being shamed, but because town mayors realised that this was causing a huge change in the society of their town and the way that people were starting to behave. Like, who's next? Who should we get next? And the sort of notion of, we all have shame, we all have things that we're ashamed of, but there would be an attitude of people that would go, well, as long as they're looking over there, no one's looking at me, and I'm safe in the crowd. I mean, what do you think of public shaming? What do you think about this world that we're living in right now?
You know, Zach's right. There's something weird about the psychology of this big crowd, whether it's virtual or in, you know, reality, kind of gathering and feeling this outrage and this superiority that they would never do it. To your point, don't look at me, look over here. And I don't know, I just think the world's gotten so reactive and judgmental that we could all use a little more forgiveness and grace, I think.
Couldn't have said it better. Reggie, do you have a question for our guest this evening?
Yes, I do. Tonight's question goes to... let's go for all of our guests this evening. If you were granted a relatively cute wagon, like a red flyer, like a radio flyer, and you were granted that, and let's say it was a little bit larger, let's say 30% larger than the children's version, so a more practical wagon. And you had to transport some goods, but you could either transport your own goods or you could help transport other people's goods in the neighborhood around you who are wagonless. What would you choose to do?
Let's start with you, Katie.
I think I would, well, I would probably transport a lot of things to my wagonless neighbors that probably I thought that they could use and enjoy. And, but if I couldn't do that, I would definitely transport their things. Okay. Is that the right answer?
She's gone with the transport for the wagonless. Let's see what Zach's got to say.
I would use that extra 30% to actually take things from my neighbors. Because, you know...
That's the Christmas spirit.
That's right. You know, and it could be anything. It could be...
Also, they don't have a wagon, so...
They don't have a wagon. Come after me. What are you going to do? You don't have a wagon. Even if they wanted to take them back, they don't have a wagon to transport it. Good luck.
Reg, 2 points of view. Who's correct?
Both points of view are actually equally correct.
They're
thank God.
equally correct. Please thank Katie Couric, Zach Woods, Dave Garn, and Soul Savers are here when we come back.